Today, I'm going to show you how to install CodeLlama locally. This is an incredible model based on Llama 2 that beats GPT-4 at coding tasks. I just did a video comparing it directly against GPT-4 and it did incredibly well. So I'm going to show you how to install it locally. Let's go. So this is going to be an install from complete scratch, assuming you have nothing set up on your machine. I'm going to be using my PC today. We're going to be using Text Generation WebUI for the interface, and we're going to be using the Wizard Coder version of CodeLlama, which is a fine-tuned version that is the one that beat GPT-4. So the first thing we're going to do is get Text Generation WebUI installed. And if you don't already have Anaconda installed on your machine, go ahead and do that. That'll help us manage the Python versioning issues that I always come across. This is the GitHub page for Text Generation WebUI. I'll drop a link in the description below directly to this. The first thing you're going to do is come over here to this green code button, click it, and click copy. And this is going to copy the URL that we need to get the code from. Then switch over to your terminal with Anaconda ready, and we're going to create a new Conda environment. Conda create -n tg for TextGen, Python equals 3.10.9. We're using this version because that's the version they have in the examples on the GitHub page. Hit enter. It's going to install all the packages and everything else we need. And then you're going to hit enter again to proceed. And we're done. Next, we're going to highlight this command right here, copy it, and then paste it. Conda activate TG, and that's going to activate that Conda environment for us. Now we can see we're in it because it says so right here, TG. Next, we're going to clone the code. So we type git clone and then paste in that URL we have copied already. Hit enter. All right, now that we have that cloned, we're going to cd, change directory, into that new folder that we just created. So we type cd text-generation-webui. Enter. Now we're in that folder. Next, we're going to install all of the requirements we need for this repository. So we're going to type python-m pip install-r requirements.txt and then hit enter. And this may take a few minutes. All right, once that's done, we're going to need to install the torch libraries that we need. Now, I already have these installed, so I'm not going to do it, but I'll show you the command here. pip3 install torch, torch vision, torch audio, --index-url, and then this URL. I'll drop step-by-step instructions in a gist in the comments, so you'll have all of these links. Okay, now sometimes when you spin up the server, you're going to get this error that says CUDA is not available. And the way to solve that is this command right here. Conda install PyTorch, torch vision, torch audio. You're going to specify the PyTorch version that has CUDA, and then -c PyTorch -c NVIDIA. And again, I'll put this all in the gist file in the description below. Okay, I got this weird error saying module not found error, no module named char. So I just went ahead and installed it directly using python-m pip install chardet. Now let's try to spin up the server again. All right, I ran into another issue saying it doesn't have this C chardet. So now I just installed it the same way and now we're good to go. And once you have that installed, we're ready to go. To spin up the server, you're going to type python server.py and then hit enter. So we're going to click this URL right here. And now we have Text Generation WebUI up and running. Click on over to the model tab and we're going to need to download the model. So switching back to Hugging Face, now we're at the Wizard Coder Python 13b v1.0 model card. Now I'm going to be installing the 13 billion parameter version because it's smaller, but since I have 24 gigabytes of video RAM, I think I can actually get the 34 billion parameter model working. Now if we look at the WizardLM page, we can see all the different versions that they have here. So all of these Wizard coders, these are the CodeLlamas that have been fine-tuned by WizardLM. So they have a 1 billion parameter version, which will fit on most devices, and they have the Python, the Wizard Coder Python 13b version as well here. And that's a model specifically trained for Python code. So take a look at all of these. You can even get the larger 70 billion parameter version. And of course, you can grab any model. So if you want to download the raw unquantized model directly from Meta, you can do that as well. And I'll show you how to do all of that. Now I showed you the Wizard page. Now I'm on the Blokes page, and he provides quantized versions of every model pretty much. He's amazing. And so we are going to be using the Wizard Coder Python 13b version, and we're going to be using the GPT-Q quantized version. Quantized just means compressed. It just allows it to run more quickly, and usually you don't lose a lot of quality. And if we click over to the Files and Versions tab, we can see that the model.safetensors file is about 7 gigabytes. And that's what we'll be downloading. So go ahead up here right next to the name, you're going to click copy. We're going to switch back to Text Generation WebUI, and in the first input box, we're going to paste in what we just copied and click download. And this will take a while. It's still 7 gigabytes. Okay, it's done. Next, what we have to do is click this little refresh button right here, and that'll load up the models in this drop-down list. So we're going to click the model that we just downloaded. It defaults to auto GPT-Q for some reason, but what we want to do is actually use the XLlama HF for this. So go ahead and click that. And those are just different model loaders. You can experiment with different ones. Some work for certain quantization and some don't. And we can have our max sequence length set right here. Apparently it was trained on 16,000 tokens and it can be fine-tuned up to 100,000 tokens. I haven't tested it, but I've read that it can be done. Then we click load and there we go, successfully loaded. Switch over to parameters. Over here, set your max new tokens to the same thing, 2048. And for the temperature, since we're going to be dealing with coding, I like to set this at the minimum. And the temperature just dictates how creative the model will be. And we don't want it to be creative because this is coding. Then switch over to the default tab and we're going to be using this prompt template. Below is an instruction that describes a task. Write a response that appropriately completes the request. And here we're going to put our prompt and then that's it. We're done. So let's test it out once. Write Python code to output numbers 1 to 100. All right, it's done. So there, it gave me 2 examples and these both work. This is absolutely perfect. I'm running this locally. It's using my GPU. There's some options if you don't have a GPU. You can use the CPU version only and it describes that in the GitHub page. But that's it. Now you have a fully functional, extremely capable coding assistant locally on your computer, absolutely free. If you like this video, please consider giving me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.